The following program is brought to you in part by Time Warner Cable and the Madison County School System.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television, here today with head coach John Clark.
And I'm here to tell you to watch Madison County School Sports Television.
This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises. This program is sponsored by First Gear in downtown Richmond and ProSigns in Southern Hills Plaza.
Welcome to the Coach John Clark Show. Welcome to the Coach John Clark Show. I'm Samantha Burford, and we are here at the newly semi-remodeled Jack Burford Chevrolet. You can tell there's a few more new things behind us. It's coming along.
Every week, it's like there's a new place we're interviewing. It's exciting.
That's right. And I think that was the purpose of doing the Coaches Show, so that every week we progress about as each football team
Big
progresses.
progress this week. This week I noticed more progress than before.
Yeah, so
this will be a nice place to lounge while you look to shop.
that is true. We are in the customer service lounge, some different colors around us, so it's kind of fun, and big screen TV right there.
Yeah, so while
So
you
you can
guys are
come
giving,
watch
while
your
you guys
game.
are working out your great deals on cars,
That's
I'd
right.
be waiting right here.
You'd be waiting right there. That's exactly right. Okay, enough car talk. Let's talk football. Let's talk North Laurel.
Yes.
Great game. Listen, you did exactly what you told us in your coaches show last week that you were going to do. You ran some different offense.
We opened the offense up.
Yeah.
We've been waiting
You
to
warned
do
us.
this. We've been waiting to do this. It was a matter of everything kind of falling into place. We've done this every year for the last couple of years. As the season gets further, we gradually open the offense up.
Right.
You know, we're not like a lot of teams. We don't just have one offense that we run all the time. It takes a while to get kids to progress, to understand things, to do things the way we do offensively.
Right.
So we like to...
And you hope that goes with the season.
And it should, you
Yes.
know. I don't like to lose a game in the process, but
Right.
very happy with the progress. And
Right.
you know, and as everybody knows, our quarterback's young, but our quarterback coach Jimmy Skinner has done an outstanding job with Aaron Sloan, bringing him along as fast as he has
Right.
in a short amount of time. I mean, it's just he's got to be one of the best quarterback coaches in the state to do what he's done and get him ready to do the things that we're doing this quickly.
Right. Yeah, yes, kudos to him, because I'm telling you, that's a big challenge to take a kid that's been in a different team, same community, and progress him along nicely the way he's done.
Absolutely. He's done an unbelievable job with
Yeah.
it. And it doesn't come easy. It's 7 a.m. meetings
Yeah.
and then practice after school, and then, you know, they're watching an hour of film at night, and then he meets with them the next morning. I mean, it's been a long process in a short amount
Right.
of time. It's trying to cram an entire off season into the last couple of weeks.
Right.
But now Aaron's picking it up, and a big credit of that goes to Coach Skinner.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to is the postseason and your more district getting into the tournaments, and
It's coming.
it is coming, and
We're
that
gonna
will
get
be
what
a
we
true
wish for.
test for him.
It will, and for all of us. You know, I'm
Yeah.
anxious to see how we how we are going into the postseason as well. It's all
Right.
about playing. It's not the best team that moves on. It's the team that plays the best that moves on. And it's
Yeah.
about playing well at the right time.
Well, and I also want to give you guys credit. It's about coaching as well. I mean, you know, you guys have done all the research on the teams. I mean, you're progressing them. It's not just them.
Yeah.
It's your whole staff.
And the hardest part is I was just talking to a couple guys before the show, is the hardest part is people forget that in high school athletics you're dealing with teenage boys here.
Yeah.
And getting everybody on the same page to keep all that together with all the emotion and all the distractions and everything going on week in and week out is a true testament to what our staff
Right.
does. They do a great job.
Well,
with
and they have some girlfriends. They have, you know, other things
School,
going on. Homework.
Don't even get me started. Social media,
Yeah.
video games, Call
Lots
of
of things
Duty
going on.
You know,
And we're
Grand
at
Theft
midterm
Auto. There's
time.
all these distractions going
Right.
on in the middle of all of
Yeah.
this stuff. So we're trying to get the most out of them.
Right.
When all these other things are pulling them in the other directions.
directions.
And it takes a staff working together and working hard to do that. And our staff does a great job with that.
24/7.
It does.
Let's keep talking about Sloan. How do you think he did
Outstanding.
Friday night?
He was 5 for 9 passing. I think he had 80 yards, 79 yards, and 1 touchdown. That he the touchdown was crucial. It was a 4th and 9 conversion.
Right.
In the first half, he hit J.D. Dean down the sideline on a nice little wheel route, and he's doing a great job. He's trusting his line protection. The ball's coming out quick. There's still some throws in there we'd like to take out, but no interceptions. Another week now, and every week there's no interceptions is a week that we're excited about it. So I think
Exactly.
that's 3 weeks straight now that he's
Yeah.
not turned the ball over. So he's doing a great job.
I know, you got to be excited. Let's give some more kudos out to your offensive line. They made some big holes this week.
Played a lot better up front.
Yeah.
They played the way they're capable of playing.
Got some great seniors on that line.
They are. Our seniors are Austin Sipple. He's at center. Derek Howard is our left guard. It's Derek's first year on offense. He plays both ways the whole game at 270 pounds. That's something rare you probably see in 5A, and he
Right.
does it at high intensity. Clayton O'Neal is our left tackle. It's his second year starting, and then our right tackle is Scott Lamb. Scott's second year of varsity. He played sparingly on offense last year.
Okay.
And then we've got a young junior position in there at right guard, Zach Howard, that they're keeping him on the same page as well. And,
Yeah.
but they did a great job this week. They played the way we're capable of playing
Yeah.
every week. Physical, fast.
Right.
And, there were some plays looking on film where we're 15 yards downfield.
Yeah.
Which is what we want.
Well, and we, in weeks past during our interviews and our coaches shows, we always talk about that defensive swarm. But, it's nice this week to give some shout outs to them because they deserve it.
And we're going to talk about defense too, because what our defense did this past week, nobody done to North Laurel all year.
Right.
And I can't say
Yeah,
enough.
because they're 6-2 now. So
Yes, and this is a team that averaged 288 yards rushing a game, one of the top rushing teams in the state in 5A. We held them to 193 yards on 41 carries, and our JV guys subbed in most of the fourth quarter.
Right.
So what our defense is doing is just, they forced 2 turnovers. They just they continue week in and week out to play at a very high level, and as long as they do that, we will be in all games that we play moving through the playoffs.
yeah. Do you want to talk about any specific plays in the first quarter before we?
Well, they scored on their first possession.
Right.
One thing I love about our football team is we don't get rattled when that happens. We turned around and scored back at them, and it's not something that
next
rattles us. And
4
then we force a
times.
turnover, and we score again.
Yeah.
And then another turnover leads to scores, and it didn't go well for them
Yeah.
from there. But we're capitalizing on offense on what our defense was doing in the first quarter, and that's what we've got to be able to do.
Right. I think the adjective I would probably use is dominated.
It was a dominating first quarter for us.
Yeah.
It really was. And by no means is that a bad football team. They were ranked 9th in the state.
Yeah.
They were 6-1. Their one loss was to Pulaski, just like us.
Yeah.
And it was a game that they were in till the fourth quarter. So that's a good football team. And they had their best player in Michael Nelson, number 1, their quarterback, was back this week. He was on kickoff return, offense, defense. I mean, he's just an outstanding football player. And in my opinion, maybe the toughest player in our district, their running back, Gabe Blair, number 28, plays offense and is tailback and also plays linebacker on defense. He is a very hard-nosed, tough kid. I mean, he's just fun to watch. As a football coach, you really like that kind of player.
Right.
Reminds me a little bit of Aaron Sipple
Yeah.
on our side of the ball. And
Right.
Offenses and defenses are different, but they're very similar kind of kid.
Right. Right. Well, let's take a quick break, and then we'll get into some more of the rest of the first quarter and talk about some second quarter, and we'll get right back at it. All right, we'll be right back with the Coach John Clark Show.
This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. You're watching Madison County School Sports Television, home of the greatest announcers around. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Coach John Clark Show. I'm Samantha Burford. Again, we're here at Jack Burford Chevrolet, and let's talk about Damian Harris. So, what'd you do? You moved him into defense.
Well, we've been playing him periodically.
Right, except last week.
Now,
do defense last
we had an injury to Buddy Harrison, who is our starting strong safety, and that's resulting in us involving him and Devontae Linville more on defense now.
Okay.
So he had a big interception in the first half. They tried to go deep on us, and Damian ended up with a pick. I think it's the last guy. I think that's one of those moments where their coaches probably go, "You got to be kidding me." But
I'm showing he went 70 yards.
It went about 69 yards.
All
it
right.
really did. Now, the funny thing is about it, when you watch it on film, I couldn't believe he didn't score. He ran out of gas because he ran about 30 yards this way, 20 yards downfield, about 30 yards the other way, and then about 50 yards. So he ran
can't just do a straight line.
He ran about 130. Worth mentioning, Tyler Hagan had just an unbelievable hit on that interception, which, he just absolutely earholes a kid to kind of spring the play. It was a huge hit, highlight film kind of stuff. And then Damian, I think he ran out of gas towards the end, brought it down to the 1 yard line. And then Aaron Sipple comes in at fullback and scores on a 1 yard run. Typically, Aaron's got the interception and Damian would be scoring.
Opposite.
Now, Damian with the interception, Aaron's scoring. But both those guys are playing very well on both sides of the ball right now.
Right. Do you think that the Jaguars were a little confused as far as offense, defense, both sides? Because you guys were doing different things than what they probably saw in the
I think offensively we had them guessing a little bit. We threw the ball. We lined up in some one-back sets. We've mostly shown just two-back formations. We lined up in some one-back sets. We threw out of the pocket more than we've been throwing out of the pocket, but as Aaron gets more comfortable, Aaron Sloan gets more comfortable, we're going to continue to do that. He is a pocket passing quarterback. It's what he's going to do really well. So I see that continuing to progress in our offense today at practice. You look at our practice sets today. Earlier in the year, if we ran 50 plays in practice, you'd look at 40 runs and 10 passes in live settings. Now they're throwing 40 passes and other stuff.
Right.
But in the live practice setting. Today it's 50-50. It's about, it's probably 20-12, 20-12 runs to passes. And so it's getting closer to a 50-50 split in the way we practice and prepare for games.
So do you, I don't want to give it up to your team next week, but will there be different things even going forward?
We're going to take what people give us. That's
I don't want to be sneaky, but
it's okay. I have no problem. If the run game is there, we're going to run the ball.
Okay.
If the pass game is there out of certain sets that gives us an advantage, we're going to do that. And we are a team that has the capability to line up in a lot of different sets right now.
Right.
We use formations to find advantages. By formations, we're referring to how we line people up.
Yeah.
We use formations to find advantages in our offense.
Yeah.
And we look at what their defenses are. We find formations that give us advantages. And that's what we're going to do to them based on what we do well. It's not just whatever beats their defense. It's what we do well that we feel gives us advantages.
Yeah.
And that's what we do moving forward now.
Now, going into halftime, it was already 28-10.
Yeah.
What do you say? I mean,
well, we were excited. I mean, I was excited. I mean, I love the fact that a team can bounce back like that.
Right.
You know, resilient.
Mentally,
Resilient was our virtue of the week that we do every week.
Okay.
Our word was resilient, the ability to spring back to its original form or better.
Okay.
You know, we talked about having that capability. We had a great week of practice. We really did. And we were hard on the guys in practice, and they responded well. So to see us come out and play that way, and I thought we played well in all facets of the game. You know, we were playing very well, and I was excited about it, and we had no sign of letting up in the second half either, which was really exciting. And you like to know that you're doing those things, and if you're going to get the ball in the second half, helps too.
right. Yeah. Coming into the second half, my notes are showing you scored again.
Well,
Consecutively.
Damien had 9 carries for 49 yards and a
Right.
touchdown in the first half. His touchdown, he had a short run on a power play down by the goal line. Casey Dion had a touchdown run in the first half near the goal line. So we had 4 different guys score offensively.
I know, and that is so nice to have a long list because that really throws off.
Well, and we have guys that are capable of doing that. There's
Right.
no question.
Right.
In the second half, knowing that Damien only had 9 carries in the first half, there were some things that we saw formation-wise in the first half that this is going to be there.
Right.
And we threw the ball out of some different sets, ran some different guys, knowing that we had them guessing a little bit. But the second half, we knew the whole time what was going to happen. And I say the second half, in the third quarter, Damien had 5 carries for 214 yards and 3 touchdowns, which is a dominant deal.
Right.
Now, also, it's worth mentioning, he had a 65-yard run in the first half. It was a touchdown that got called back on a holding call. And we actually had 2 big plays called back for holding calls. One was called on Devin Detweiler. It was an unbelievable block where he just pancakes the corner. So take those out of the equation, he goes well over 300 yards in the game.
Well, for the last 2 games, he's got to be exhausted, I would think. I mean,
well, he only had 14 carries Friday night.
Yes, which brings me back to my point of last week in our interview. You mentioned that you didn't realize the week before he had 32 carries.
Yeah, he's not
So
going to be a 32
he knew he wasn't
carry
going to carry the ball as much this
Absolutely.
week.
Aaron Sipple had 7 carries. Casey
Yeah.
Dion had 3 for 81 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tyler Hagan had 1. Logan Coomer had 1. Trayvon Estel had 1. We're just trying to disperse the ball a little more.
Right. Let's go to defense.
Excuse
You're
me.
still coughing.
I'm still
I
a
know.
little sick, but I'm doing better this week.
You are doing better this week.
I'm not on death's bed this week. So.
Well, we're glad you're healthy.
But defensively, played unbelievable. I mean,
Yeah.
just a team that's averaging 288 yards rushing a game, to hold them under 200. We're the only team that's done that all year. We held them under 200 yards. I think previously nobody had held them under 250.
Okay.
So, and they had 41 carries, so it's not like they didn't get their offensive plays in. We just played swarming defense. We got after them, forced some turnovers. You got the feeling towards the end of the game that you could physically tell we were wearing on them a little bit on the defensive side.
They
of the
looked
ball.
tired.
Yeah, it was exciting.
It's almost it's like you need some sound effects when the defense comes out during your games.
I tell you what, I don't know if you ever hear the Crazy Train comes on by Ozzy Osbourne there on third downs.
Yeah.
That's what our defense is, though.
Yeah.
They're the Blue Swarm for a reason. I mean, they've carried our team this season. There's a reason that when we win the toss, we're going to defer. I want them on the field. They are punishing people right now. They tackle well. Our secondary is getting better. And even the thing I love most about our defense is we hit at the point of attack. You do not see very often where the ball's going here or wherever the ball is, there are multiple blue or white jerseys around.
Right. Anything else you want to add to that before we go to break?
We have some guys playing really well. Aaron Sipple is playing outstanding right now on both sides of the ball. His carries continue to increase every week. On the offensive side of the ball, he had 7 carries for 49 yards and a touchdown. But defensively, some of the things he does with big hits, big momentum changes, blows up the fullback one play into the tailback, forces him to drop the ball. their running back is an outstanding, or their quarterback was an outstanding athlete. He faked ISO. He ran outside trying to get the edge to the goal line, and Aaron runs him down from across the field from the middle linebacker position. And their quarterback is fast. It just shows that what that young man is doing this season in his third year of varsity is he's equally as dominant on the defensive side of the ball right now as Damian is on the offensive side.
Right.
It's just something you don't see every day.
That's what I was going to add to that, is that so many people come to your game that may not typically come to a Southern game that want to come to watch Harris. What they don't realize is that it's not just Harris.
Well, and Aaron's a great example.
Yes.
I talked to the team we're playing this week, the head coach at Lincoln County. I spoke to him, and he said 47 is all over the field. And that's how he plays.
Right.
He's like, wow. And everybody says that. Casey Dion had 14 tackles from the strong safety position on Friday night. Casey is all over the field on defense. We still have a lot of guys playing really well right now.
Yeah. Well, good. All right. Well, we're going to take another break, and we'll be right back. All right. We'll be back with the Coach John Clark Show.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County Schools Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU Bypass in Richmond.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do during disasters, like tornadoes, and how to plan for emergencies, like flash floods. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
Another great sponsor for Madison County School Sports Television is Madison HVAC. Visit them at MadisonHVACR.com. By calling Madison HVAC, you always know you'll talk to the owner. Give them a call. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises.
Welcome back to the Coach John Clark Show. I'm Samantha Burford. Again, I'm here with Coach John Clark. The final score to your game against North Laurel was 56-28.
Yes.
You got to be happy.
Good win.
Got to be excited.
Very good win.
And now we move forward.
Lincoln County.
Lincoln County. Tell us about them. What do you know?
They're a team that's improved drastically throughout the season. They started off not very well with a couple losses, and as the weeks have gone on, they got better and better. They gave Pulaski a handful.
Right.
They were up on Pulaski at halftime, and then they ended up losing the game. They committed some turnovers later in the game against North Laurel. North Laurel played a pretty good game against them, I thought. And then they beat Southwestern last week by 1. So they're a team that's not done by any means. They're still fighting. They're in that 4th playoff spot, so they will be in the playoffs in our district. And they will not lay down. They're going to fight us. They're big up front, 280, 300 pounds across the front. They're well coached. They've got a great coaching staff. And they've got a couple athletes now. Number 1 is a great DB receiver for them. And then number 40 is a very good running back that can make you miss. Their quarterback is a kid they've gone to as a younger kid, but throws some really nice balls, and he's a competitive kid that wants to win.
Yeah.
So they've got some really nice features on their team. Their kicker's pretty good. So this is by no means just a hand a win to somebody.
Exactly.
Madison Southern, here you go. We loved you visiting.
Yeah, I mean, we're happy to have a final game before district play.
And last year, we put it on them pretty good. Their kids aren't going to forget that. So
I don't have in my notes what their record is. Do you know off the top of your head? No, they've lost a couple games.
6-3, 5-3 maybe.
Okay.
One of those in that ballpark. They might 5-4. I think they're 5-4.
Okay.
But they're fighting. They're above 500, and they're a good football team.
So it's not like your team needs to come out and go, this is going to be a piece of cake.
Yeah, this is not a cakewalk game by any means. By any means.
So they're going to have to show up, put the game face on, and play some football.
Absolutely.
It's almost tournament time.
It's this one, and then it's tournament time for us.
Right. Now, you don't have a break. Oh, yeah, you do.
We have a bye.
That's right. We're
going to practice all week and prepare the little things that we need to do to get better for the playoffs.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about your JV team, your freshman team.
Junior varsity and freshman.
Yeah.
Our junior varsity has had an unbelievable season. They just finished, what is today?
Today's Tuesday.
They finished Monday night.
Okay. Yeah, last night.
With a win against Lincoln County. So they had a big 28-6 win. We actually won the district. Went undefeated in the district, which is exciting. They finished the season on 6-1. Should have been 7-0. Had a couple turnovers in a game. Some young guys really playing well. Peyton Skidmore's playing outstanding at running back for us. He's a sophomore. He's not seen much varsity time.
Yeah.
Still a little small. He's a little lighter. We've got to beef him up in the weight room, but he's got great quickness. Logan Banks is another running back that's really running well for us.
Okay.
And then Austin Beetlestone, who plays a little tight end on Friday nights, is also playing. Austin's been a go-to receiver for Jared Simpson, who's played quarterback that played very well. Threw a nice touchdown ball last night. So Dawson Richardson plays fullback, middle linebacker, really carries the load for him. We've had some young freshmen step up and play a little bit of JV too. So our JV offensive line's done an outstanding job this year. Just really excited about some of the kids that'll be coming up that we'll be talking about sitting here next year.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm already excited to even the thought process, because just me interviewing you and then us doing a wrap-up show at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking forward to that, to think, okay, we got most of these kids coming back.
Well,
we got a lot of seniors on the line.
But we have a lot of guys coming back.
Exactly.
And the thing is, too, is good programs have good JV teams that can reload with players that know what they're doing.
Yes.
And I feel we're going to be able to do that. And I mean, there's some guys that are tough to replace. I mean, when you have Austin Sipple sitting there, he's a 2-year starter at center. He knows our entire scheme. He's going to be tough to replace. But somebody's going to be up to the challenge. I don't even know who that's going to be yet. But I didn't know who was going to play tight end for us this time last year when Spencer Stone left us to go to Wake Forest.
Yeah.
And he's doing great at Wake Forest right now, playing tight end there. So,
or who'd be your quarterback?
And Andrew Miller stepped up and became the guy. Yeah. Adam Simpson leaves. That's a great point. Adam Simpson was 90% of our offense that wasn't Damian Harris.
Right.
And you sit there and go, who's going to replace this guy?
Yeah.
Well, 2 months ago it was Devontae Linville.
Right.
And so something's going to happen.
It changes.
It's a competitive environment we're in. Somebody's going to step up.
So I want to say that I'm glad that you're healthy and almost 100%.
Yep, getting there.
What I want to say is that let's talk a little bit about how you're keeping your team healthy, because so many football players at this time of the year have injuries or the flu bug, and I'm going to knock on wood.
Good question.
Tell us how you're doing that.
Well, there's a lot of things that go into that for us. We pad out a little less as the season goes on.
Okay.
Last week we were in full pads. This week we're in shells today. We'll be in full tomorrow, but the contact will be a little less at certain periods. Monday was we weren't even in helmets Monday. We just went out and did work without helmets on.
So that's not when you say you have a live.
Yeah, I mean
it's different.
What we wear depends on our tempo in practice.
Okay.
When we're in shells, that's just shoulder pads and helmets. No lowers.
For safety reasons.
We don't go to the ground. Everything is physical, but we don't hit the backs. We don't hit the receivers. Okay. Everything's touch on them. When we go full is when we either thud. Thud means we hit guys and don't hit and wrap, but don't take them to the ground. Mm-hmm. Or live means we're tackling. We do very little live stuff. Now,
between games.
Right. Now, what we tend to do is we'll go live, everybody, but thud the backs. So we'll say the line is live, everything's live, quarterback is never live. You don't touch our quarterback, you don't even run in front of his hand when he's throwing, and they know that, and they do a great job of that. But there's times where we'll go live, and then guys will know to tag off on the backs and let them go. Mm-hmm. It's actually a great way to teach tackling, because it's easy to fall into a tackle sometimes. It's hard to get guys to run up, tag them on the hips with both hands, drop their hips, so we can tell if they're approaching with the right tackling technique or not. So our players that have gotten better at tackling, a lot of that's due to we've had to teach them how to tackle without tackling.
Yeah.
Sounds weird, but I promise you it works.
Right.
So that's one thing we do. The other thing we do is, great question, flu bug. I've got our water bottles in my car right now. When we get done, I'm going to go stick them in my dishwasher at home.
Okay.
Just try to keep everything clean as much as we can.
Meaning the whole team or just your coaches or yours?
The team's water bottles are in the car. So
Okay,
I'll
so
take
you
them
wash
home.
all those?
Yeah, I try to do it.
So you don't leave it for them to take home to their
I'm
moms?
rotating 2 sets right now. So one set just came out of the car last night.
they have
This
their
set's
names
going
on
home.
them,
No,
so no.
these are community ones that we use,
Okay.
but we try to keep that stuff clean as much as we can.
Right.
I have sanitary wipes in the locker room that the players use to wipe down their pads, their helmets. Now they're teenage boys. We have to constantly stay on them about doing that.
Right.
But those kind of things make a difference
Yes.
as the year goes on.
Yes.
They really do. And then we constantly preach hydration and fluids and no Polar Pops. Lay off the McDonald's.
Yeah.
Get good breakfast in you and drink
stay
a lot.
hydrated.
Drink a lot of water.
Right.
That's one of the biggest things.
Well,
these
and the
kids
weather's
struggle with.
changing too. They may not think that they need to stay as hydrated
Right.
now because it's not as hot.
Right.
But just the opposite.
Well,
I mean, they
part of the
got-
hydration is just as much for cleansing your body with your fluids and stuff as it is.
and they're still sweating, even though they don't
Absolutely.
have on in the entire gear. They're
Absolutely.
still sweating.
Absolutely.
So before we go, anything else you want to add? I mean, I appreciate you. That's the kind of stuff I like to get out of you
Yeah.
because it's different than just the paperwork and the numbers.
Yeah, we
and
do a
that
lot of
kind
little other
stuff.
things. You know, one of the things we do to keep our kids healthy is we actually do their laundry. Not a lot of schools do that. Everybody has a loop. They turn in their laundry after games, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. We have a booster parent that comes. The coaches collect it. They turn it in. Their loop has their number on it. So all their practice stuff gets turned in.
Okay.
A parent will come and help wash it so the coaches don't have to stay. In the morning, I'll get it out of the laundry. We'll throw it back in their lockers so they have clean clothes. That way,
Wow.
somebody doesn't have everything sitting there collecting germs
Right.
in their locker room all
Right.
the time. And our
'Cause
janitorial
MRSA
staff
is terrible
Yeah,
as
and our
far as
janitorial
athletic
staff does a great
locker
job.
rooms and-
They clean our locker room daily and our restrooms. So those things make a big difference.
I agree.
They really do.
It really does. That's incredible, and I think that's. I mean, just. It doesn't surprise me.
Well, it's all
no
the-
one talking to you, and as much as we interview every week, that doesn't surprise me.
The little things that make the big things happen. I
Mm-hmm.
tell our kids that all the time. It's more than just running this play this right way. It's
Right.
all the little things we do, being to meetings on time and watching film at 7:15 when school starts at 8 o'clock. And we do that every Wednesday morning. Tomorrow morning we'll be there at 7:15 watching film before school starts. Because what good does it do to do practice on Tuesday if you don't turn around and learn from it on Wednesday morning? So we get them up, we bring them in, we watch film, we film everything we do still. So all
Okay.
those little things are major factors in the progression of our team as we move forward each year.
I think it's excellent, and it excites me because we're ready for playoffs, and I think
here.
I think you're ready. Do you feel you're ready?
We're ready. You know, we've still
We
got
as media think
we've got to
we're
become a
ready.
little more consistent in practice, but we'll be ready. We're going to be ready by the time that first week hits in 2
Right.
weeks.
Anything else before we go?
No, happy Halloween.
Thank you.
It's a
Happy Halloween
it's
to
an
you
exciting
too.
week for Halloween.
It is.
I love
Can you
that-
believe it? It's the end of October.
I love that we have our bye week on Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays.
yeah.
so
Now,
it's
will you
exciting.
let them go trick or treating?
We have Thursday off next week.
Okay.
I hope they're not out trick or treating, but they need to be
Well,
doing
but they
something.
may have younger siblings
Yeah,
that they want to
they
take,
need to be
and family
actively
time,
involved in the holiday. Yes, I hope we don't have anybody out knocking on doors at age 16. That's
or egging or anything like that.
That's
Like if
not-
they do something like that, will they get in trouble with you?
I tell you right now that our boys will not be
Yeah.
doing that. They know
Yeah.
a lot better than that.
Okay.
So they
Sure.
know that there'll be no playoff games for them if they
Yeah.
want to engage in those things. So
Yeah.
that's not even a concern of mine.
Do you think you'll have a big fan base travel down to Lincoln County?
I hope so. Yeah, you know, I hope everybody does. It's been consistent for us. It's a big game for us. You know, I mean, this is one of the best records. We can finish the regular season 8-1. It's pretty impressive regular season for any team.
Right.
When you can go 8-1 during your regular season. So
Yeah.
I hope everybody does come out, watch us finish the season strong. And Lincoln's a great atmosphere for football. It's like kind of an older venue that sits like kind of down a hill a little bit. It's a pretty cool atmosphere. So it's a fun place to play.
See, and when you talk about that, I, as a mother, I think it'll be cold. So dress warm.
Dress warm.
It will be cold. All those fans in the stands.
Exactly.
All right. Well, happy Halloween. Congratulations once again from all of us at MadisonCountySchoolSports.com. We're excited to have you.
Happy Halloween and don't get spooked.
That's right. Don't. Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television, here today with head coach John Clark.
And I'm here to tell you to watch Madison County School Sports Television.
This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU bypass in Richmond.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do during disasters, like tornadoes, and how to plan for emergencies, like flash floods. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Davenport Custom Guitars, Richmond, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises. This program is sponsored by First Gear in downtown Richmond and Pro Signs in Southern Hills Plaza.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.